Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you might be. Welcome. Happy Monday. It is January 21st, 2019, and my name is Jeff Fritz. And we're going to write a little bit of code today. How's it going out there? This isn't our normal time that we stream, but I'm doing a little bit of traveling on Tuesday. And I wanted to make sure I touch base because there's a bunch of great updates. Looks like folks were inspired over the weekend and spent some time writing some code for our Stream Deck projects. And I want to take a look at that, discuss a little bit, and get into it here today. Make sure that folks are unblocked, and able to move forward with whatever project they may want to work on. Good morning, Lannon, and Coded Beard is here. Hey, Gareth, Rambling Geek, hello, and Franklin. Kevin Griffin is here. Hello, Auth Zero Bobby. How's it going? I love code. Hell yeah. Shy Sharp, how's it going? Arts Plunge. Yes, we crossed 5,000 followers. Huge goal that we crossed. There it is. Our Rainbow Beard goal has been met. Wait do you see what happens on Thursday? Hey, there's Carrie. Oh man, we're gonna have a big thank you for Carrie in a little bit. Where is the Rainbow Beard? Thursday. That's when we're going to be doing this. Let me get some music playing here in the background. I'm gonna slide over to my music to code by, and I think today I'm gonna play Indigo. There we go. This is music from our friend Mr. Carl Franklin. It's called Music to Code By. You can get all of these songs at mtcb.pwop.com. But they're scientifically designed to get you in the flow, to get you in the groove and focused on whatever task it might be that you have to work on, whether it's code, homework, or just chores around the house. Check it out at mtcb.com, mtcb.pwop.com. Or, of course, you can download the app at musictoflowby.com. Thanks so much, Carl. We really appreciate you letting us listen to your music here on stream. Yes, the WCF code name, Indigo. That's what we're listening to today. All right. You know what? That's not really what I wanted to have behind me over my shoulder. I wanted to have this. We're going to talk about that in just a second. So I'm wearing Great FX. Oh, my gosh. Thank you for that kind subscription. And we'll make a matching donation to Black Girls Code this quarter. Thank you so much. Lee says, music to flow by, totally worth it. Thoroughly worth it. I completely agree. Really enjoy the music. Hey, Mordecai. Good to see you. I'm wearing my Flyers hat today. Big win over the weekend. Really happy to see that. It was Boston they beat, I think. So happy, and I've got to represent the Flyers because wins have been hard to come by this year. So, check out the article that I have over my shoulder here. I am thrilled, from the Coding Bandit blog. Let me put the link here in chat so that other folks can see this. This is an article from Carrie Payette, the Coding Bandit. She's there in the chat room. Huge thanks to her. Check this out. Creating a basic Stream Deck emulator with Node.js. So we've been working with the Stream Deck. They released an SDK for this, a software development kit that we can work on. And you can use the little device here with your own plugins. You can build stuff to work with it. But if you don't have the hardware, how do you build a plugin and simulate button presses? So what Carrie did was reverse engineer the SDK a little bit so that you can hook a plugin up to the little emulator here and emulate what happens when you press that button. Nice. You know, she was inspired by some of the work that we've done here, and she's contributed some of the things, contributed to our plugin framework for Node.js. But she put together we've been working in .NET and C#. She worked in Node.js and put together just a little configuration that you could use that works with WebSockets to connect to your plugin and emulate a button press. Really cool stuff. Hey, Jurgen. Great FX. I found your channel just recently looking for something about the Stream Deck SDK. Yes, we're going to dig in and do a little bit of work there. It is amazing. I like this. I'm always happy for people who support teams that are not nationally reviled. I come from Boston. The Flyers weren't always a favorite team in the States. Happy MLK Day. Yes, it is Martin Luther King Jr. Day here in the States. Most folks have off from work. It's a national day of service. We wanted to try and do a codathon here, a hackathon. Timing didn't work out. It was a little bit too aggressive to get everybody rounded up to collaborate. I am planning to bring that back at some point here in the next few months, but running a hackathon is hard. There's a lot of planning and coordination. So Carrie's got this it's a minimum viable product at this point. It does exactly what it says it does. You press a button and it emulates, sends a message over to your plugin to say the button was pressed. Stop, plan, coordinate, and listen. That's a Vanilla Ice thing, isn't it? My favorite player growing up is Ray Bork. Amazing shot accuracy. Amazing accuracy. The guy was able to hit the shot accuracy competition, right? So if you look up on YouTube, Ray Bork accuracy competition, they have these skills competitions in hockey at the All-Star game, and they put 4 plates around the net, and Ray was able to hit all 4 on 4 shots. Amazing accuracy. Hey, Svava? Yes. No mischief yet. We'll get there. Oh, we'll get there. So, right, the idea here is a very simple block of JSON, and this is right from the Elgato SDK, that the device, not the device, the Stream Deck app will send down to your plugin. So she's emulating it here and sending that message back. And then our main application just puts together, some faux data here to ship back. Real easy to use. You just send a keystroke of B and it'll send a button event to your plugin. Nothing to it. npm install it, run it with Node, and it'll actually start your application. And if you're using one of a plugin that is built with my toolkit that we've been working on here, it'll actually launch the debugger in Visual Studio. Hey, we're having a great day today, Digital Sparky. Thanks for joining us. So, really neat stuff. Look at this. So, runs it and then press B to simulate a button press, and it sends that event, that button press event, into your application, and then you can debug in Visual Studio or whatever your tool might be. Really, really neat stuff. So where can we find this? Where can we find this amazing little emulator? Well, I gave Carrie access to a new project that we put in the Fritz and Friends organization called Stream Deck Emulator, and it's already uploaded and available here so that you can work with this to try and build plugins. And we're going to enhance this. We're going to do more to allow it to be a little bit easier to work with, and I even want to see what we can do to make this part of the build chain so that we have that tight inner loop as a developer, right? As a developer, I want to be able to write code and press F5 debug and have it get into a state where I can actually press a button or key in the case of this tool, I can press B, enter, and it will simulate that button for my plugin being pressed. Or actually press the button on the physical hardware if I have it. And be able to debug and see what happens. We're really close on having a great experience on that. And I think Carrie's done a great job to get us there. Are extensions just HTTP endpoints? Extensions are either a HTML file that listens to a WebSocket, right? Connects to a WebSocket at a specific location, or it's an application that connects to that WebSocket and listens at a specific location. So I wouldn't call it an HTTP endpoint. I'd call it a WebSocket endpoint. Semantics, but basically it's all web technology that connects these together. Could we pack this emulator as a NuGet package? Code Therapist, I would actually pack it as an npm package. So you can do just npm install, and there it is. So, Shut the front door. I know. We're pretty close. Makes sense. Yeah. So, great stuff. Thank you, Carrie. That is phenomenal. Thank you for that contribution. This is going to help. This is going to help make it easier for folks who don't have the device to be able to contribute. All right. We can emulate the hardware. You can't emulate the hardware. You can emulate the button pressing. If you really wanted to go and write the individual plugins to play music and change scenes and all that stuff that the device already does, you're effectively rewriting everything in the Stream Deck. And there's other projects that do that. You don't need to go do that. Basically, everything which can handle WebSockets can be a plugin. Yes. Yep. So, yes, Gareth, piping up. I think there's definitely an opportunity for this little project, right, which is all just on the command line, to serve a web page that actually has something that looks like the Stream Deck. You could actually click those buttons that are on that web page and have it trigger and send the commands into the plugins, and then you're in. Yes. So Gareth has been working on a similar tool that he's calling Twitch Deck, that it will, all software-wise, allow you to be able to build and work with these things. It's neat. It's very neat. So that's in place. And I want to go back over to our code, look at some of the things that we haven't yet developed, we haven't yet implemented, and move forward a little bit with the project. See what we can do to simplify things a little bit. And even, I really want to get some unit tests in here so that when folks are building plugins, or even as we're building this framework, we can have some reliable tests to ensure that we don't break things. Got a link I can read away from stream. A link to, for Gareth. Zero rules. Unit tests are a good thing. Unit tests are an insurance policy, right? They're going to help us verify that when we receive a pull request, it doesn't break our existing functionality, right? Or that we're building things in a way that does behave and use the Stream Deck's API properly. It is cool. It is cool. It's just one of those things. It's like documentation sometimes for developers. You cringe about it, but once and you kind of put it off, you delay it, you don't want to spend time doing it, but when you do complete it and other folks look at it, other developers look at, their reaction is, oh my, because now they understand how to use your project. Doing Doxygen stuff. I'm not familiar with Doxygen. I've heard a little bit about it, but I'm not familiar. I haven't tried it. I haven't gotten into it. If you are writing code to check code, what if you make a mistake in the unit testing code? Right. That's right. That's the catch. You can always create a bug if you create a bug in your unit test. Well, yeah. You've just kicked the can down the road a little bit. It's a nifty documentation tool, but can be a little persnickety. Ah, okay. All right. I'll have to take a look at that. So I'm going to close out of Carrie's link here. I'm going to make sure that we get that available and published with our stream today. Testing is critical, especially with dynamic languages. Amen on that. Dynamic languages can be very tricky to test. Any code base above a certain size is going to become impossible to reason about without them. Yes. All right. Let me go back over here. We actually have in the toolkit a handful of pull requests that have come in, 5 of them. And I want to spend some time looking at these, give them their due, and merge things in here so we can continue moving forward. Especially when C# is involved, took a bit of testing to get it to work. With Doxygen. Okay. I would use docfx when you need to generate documentation for your .NET project. Okay. Pity that it takes twice as long to do testing code than the actual normal code. Sometimes it does. And when it does, hopefully you've got that built properly so that it helps with continuous integration, right? I've got these green checks here, but they don't really have any teeth. They don't have any tests behind them that actually say, yes, this is functioning the way I expect it to. At this point, these are green checks that say, it compiled properly. It compiled properly.
Wow.
Does that actually work? Yeah, CI/CD is awesome. CI, continuous integration. CD, continuous deployment. No merge conflicts. Yes, it also says no merge conflicts. So I want to take a look at this first one here from Hugo about the debugger command line flag. This is now important with the feature that Carrie has delivered to us. So now the emulator can pass in the command line flag because it's coming from the emulator to say, yes, run this in debug mode and activate it appropriately. So I think we do want to receive this now. Not completely crazy with your thought process. No, not at all. The benefit of compiled code is you can actually compile the code and test. Well, you can interpret code and test with JavaScript as well. In the long run, it saves time with unit tests. It does. You have to find a standard with unit tests on how the code should behave, and if you break stuff, you get instant feedback. Yes, that can't be That can't be. That's a pretty good point. All right. So we've got two conflicts here: sample plugin CS Proj and the connection manager, and it won't let me resolve the conflicts. Let's see what's changed there. That it's okay. So we're passing in a runtime identifier to say this will compile for Windows 10, and it will compile for Mac. So we can specify either one to build with. Our connection manager, well, this actually moved files. Well, that's moved locations in between here, so that's going to be a problem. Yeah. Is Hugo here? No. Here's what I'm going to do. This is... Oh my gosh. Is a good change now that we have an emulator to work with. Can you reapply your changes? And is this, yeah, to the updated configuration manager, so that it is clear what lines are changed. And I think we'll be able to merge that soon. Remember, unit tests do not confirm that code is bug-free. By default, they do not. Which makes it as designed... it confirms that they do what they expect to do. Yes. What I like to think about unit tests, when someone finds a bug, if we can write a unit test that exposes that bug, and then... Right, so it becomes a failing test that reveals that bug. Hey, boss on camera, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that, and I look forward to seeing you in the chat room. But if you can write a unit test that exposes that bug, that issue, then when you solve that test, when that test passes, you've fixed that bug and hopefully prevented it from ever happening again. It pins the functionality. Exactly. All right. I'm going to go back here. Fix for starting a plugin via command line arguments. So this is from Coding Bandit. This is Carrie. Tested and fixed starting the Stream Deck plugin via command line arguments. So this kind of goes hand in hand with the emulator. So Oh, this looks like a white space change here. Let me hide the white space change and reload. So we moved if debug to the top of the sample plugin. Okay, before cancellation source and the logger factory are initialized. Okay, and then bumped out some of these using statements. Okay, now using connection manager initialize right here with an await statement. Nice. Yes, this is not sub only. Oh my gosh, everybody can chat. You're always welcome to ask questions. Please join us. I want to make sure this is a very welcoming place for folks to learn, ask questions, and let's write some code together. So Carrie simplified this instead of a bunch of a big wrapping using statement, having this await on this, clearing up an extra bit here. All right. Removed the pre-build process to stop the Stream Deck. Okay. Remove this untested bit here because it's verified. Okay. And then that looks right. Just a little bit of simplification there. Okay. This is where we move the debugger launch from, calling dispose directly, making that a var. That's fine. All right, let's merge it. That looks good to me. Thank you very much for simplifying and improving our sample plugin. Awesome stuff. Thank you, Carrie. You only know how to code in Java and Python. Oh, yeah, we're working with C# today. Java is pretty close. You should be able to follow along if you have any questions. There's great folks that are eager to help out and answer questions in the chat room, and of course I'll jump in here as well. Oh no, too much lag. Do we have the quality today? No, I didn't get the transcoder this morning. Rats. Find unit testing can be too limiting at first. I like to play first if I'm just working with an idea. So I'm going to agree with Lee there. Am I right? It's Lee 1977, Lee MW 1977. I like to tinker first as well, and then once I figure out this is how it should work, then pin that functionality, anchor it down with a unit test, right? Effectively. Right. I think about how like a comic book artist work, right? They do pencils, right? And they sketch things. And when they figure out, here's the outline of my character. Here's what I want it to look like. Then they come back with ink and they trace it, right? And they commit, this is what it should look like. That's what I like to do when I start a project and I start exploring things. I figured out how this works. I had to tinker, but I got it working. Now let's pin it down with unit tests and then evolve. Gonna lurk for a bit. Not a problem. Always happy to have some lurkers hang around here. Thanks so much, Lee. I appreciate that, and I'll make sure that I use your name appropriately in the future here. So great work from Carrie there. Thank you. We have some extra updates here from I Love Code. So let's take a look at this. Extra parentheses in plugin template causing error. Believe this is a bug unless I did something wrong. Plugin name is replaced by actual plugin name when template started. So prior to this plugin, it resulted in the following on line 50, which doesn't compile. New plugin. This removes the extra parentheses, making it... okay. So the change that you made here was to fix this extra parenthesis. That seems like such a simple thing and easy to get confused by, but makes total sense here. I've heard of that style being called a gardener or as opposed to a bricklayer. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. They're all tiny, but focused on using the template. You know what I love code? That's fine because the template's going to be our gateway. It's going to be our gateway drug to get folks in and using using our template, our library here, and using it effectively. Boss on Camera asks, did you take any courses to learn some languages, or did you watch YouTube tutorials and by reading a bunch of online forums? Boss on Camera, I'm old. There were no YouTube videos training people on this.
Wait, let me explain something to you.
I had to use these things called books, and I had to read. And it took me a long time to read. And
you can do it!
I eventually tinkered and built projects. My favorite project to build and just constantly rebuild, because I knew how to build it and make something, was a fantasy football, fantasy sports, fantasy football website, or an application to do that. So I had the idea in my head. I knew exactly how it should work, and I would just rebuild it each time in whatever language I was working on. So that's kind of what I did. But having a teacher, the first time I learned .NET, though, I did have a 1-week class with an instructor, and they taught me VB.NET.
You keep using the word.
No.
I don't think it means what you think it means.
VB.NET's a good thing. I'm so old. Yes, but now
People know me.
and I'm happy to share and hopefully make it a little bit easier for other folks to learn. But trial and error, as Kevin's saying, yeah, that became a way once I got foundation things down. And then when I explored and wanted to figure out, well, let me go learn how to do Windows Forms applications. So I would go explore and figure out, here's what I want to do, and keep working through it. I remember books. I had to get in the car and go to a store and get them if I recall. And now they make me nice and tall in my seat when I sit on them. 6-week night course in VB6. Ooh. Work phone call. That's okay, Rambling Geek. We'll be right here. We'll wait till you get back here. Let's. No, I'm not going to do that. We're not gonna. No. All right. So that's easy. I like these types of quick hit pull requests because they make sense. It's real easy to see this. That's fine. We'll merge that in. Cool. Thank you for catching this error. But this highlights that we do need some sort of an integration test. We need a way to test the template to make sure that when we .NET knew it works. We got to make VB.NET not a link. All right. We'll get there. Add system threading task reference to plugin template class. In the template, the plugin stubs out a method but the reference to system threading tasks isn't included. Rats. All right. That makes sense. Bring that one in. So the using statement's not there. Okay. All right. Cool. I get it. And I Love Code has add stub return statement for the plugin template. This one is optional. The last step to ensure the plugin template builds as soon as it's created is to actually return something in the onKeyUp hook in the template. It's a task return type, so I just returned nothing for now. Hopefully with these three, you can go from .NET New to .NET Build. I'm tempted to say you want to do a return task.completed there. That way you've at least got it indicating here's what happened. You ended up learning more from Indian YouTubers than from my teacher. You know what, Boss on Camera? When I was at university, I learned enough coding that I actually went out into town, and I had a buddy that was running a little furniture store, making pine wood furniture for students in the dormitories, and I helped him build a little inventory management database. And that's how I learned, was I iterated on that little database. Spins up the template, checks that it compiles to be part of the fake build script. Yes. or a task result from. Yeah, okay. So here's what I'm going to do then. I'm going to open, right, isn't there a way I can edit the file directly here? And I'm going to say return task dot completed task, because I can put that in there. And I'm going to commit that directly in, and now I can merge. Updated to include a return for task.completed task. Fantastic. Merge that chalupa in there. Fantastic. Thank you so much. I love code. I appreciate that. Since I have those in there, we still have a whole bunch of things out here. Let's merge up dev. Let's put this together, which will trigger a new build and a new deployment out to NuGet. Update with, and this is really dev tool changes and template fixes. Let's create that. Cool. So this will go into master. A lot of great stuff there. Ooh, is that Svico? Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate you joining us. Feels real-world projects are much more of a learning experience than some homework projects. Amen, Lennon. Basics are good, but there's a point when you have to do the learning on your own rather than someone teaching. Yes. Hey, Draco. We hit 5,000 yesterday with our friend Quill Tony. Actually, here, I'll let this run for a second. We were on her stream yesterday. We co-streamed on our side as well. Really neat experience. But we built this Follow Me Now button that you see over here. It's not just a button on Shopify, but it'll change over with a little bit of JavaScript and say Live Now when she starts streaming. So it was a lot of fun to work together with her and just build that little bit of HTML and JavaScript out. It was Sunday. You slept through since then. Good morning, Developers Garage. Struggling is an important part of learning. Yeah, it can be a little depressing, but it's an important, I want to say, rite of passage almost. Is that Riton Legy? Thank you so much for the follow. Let me know if I pronounced your name properly there. Kids need food. I'll return. No need for the Jeopardy music. Alex Trebek is from your hometown. Useless fact of the day. Thank you, Developers Garage. I'm going to merge this up, and that should kick off a build from master. So I'll pop up here. I need to fix this README so it properly links back to Azure DevOps, right? Because right now it doesn't click through properly. So if I go to, what is it, dev.azure.com. There we go, Stream Deck Tools. This is our project. This is available for the public to read and access. Anybody can come through and read this. I'm the only one who can administer it right now. We'll open it up so other contributors can get to it later. But there's our merge for the pull request, and you can see it's building now. Packing that up, fantastic. And we'll see the release go out in just a little bit here when that finishes. All right. Ninja Ola asks, I have a small question regarding Git terminology. In Team Explorer in Visual Studio regarding sync, you have two possibilities, fetch or pull. Is there any big difference between the two? Pull is fetch and merge, right. So when you have a Git repository, so let's take a look here. Right, let me go over to my, what did I call it? Stream Deck first. Yeah. And I still have a couple things that I was working on here that I need to finish. We'll finish those up here in just a little bit. When you look at the folder, you have this, there's a .git folder here. And why isn't it showing it? It's hidden. Yes. And you can see the references to those other places. When you just do a fetch, it brings down everything into a local folder. It doesn't necessarily overwrite your branch. Merge actually combines the two. So that's why there's two steps. Going into Lurk, Have a good one there. Good morning, Nick Larson. Shopify does use Liquid on their site. Yes. Hey, Mike Jolly. Thanks so much for your contributions over to Stream Tools over the weekend. Some good changes there. We need to revisit. There was one or two things there that broke around the followers name there, and we'll take a look at that. Not a problem, Ninja Ola. Thanks so much for asking the question. Federal holidays and a stand-up of one. Nice. All right. Let me go up one here. And this should release in just a few minutes here, right? Where's my build? So, rolling build for C# Fritz. Don't mind if I say so myself. So it finished the build, so the release should kick off here, right? There it goes. It's doing the release, and it's publishing to NuGet right now. Oh, man. Automation. Gotta love it. Just started working with Azure DevOps and have only worked with SVN with not huge implementations. Okay. This is publicly available. Anybody's allowed to come and look at it. But like I said, I'm the only one that has commit access to change it. I want to make sure that you can see and maybe even learn from the mistakes. No. From the projects that I have set up. Right? Yeah. This is my first year my employee gave us Martin Luther King Day as a holiday, and I guess most of my team took the day off. That's okay. That's fine. The learning opportunities. Yes. That's what I love about open source. Since folks make their source code available, it's an opportunity to learn. Yeah, no mistakes, just happy little accidents. Having build pipeline notifications show up in your stream like the follows and subscriptions. Now, they're off zero. There is something that I think would be great for folks at Stream Elements to be able to make available with the stream alerts. However, the stream alerts that do pop up, they're tightly coupled to Twitch or Mixer or even YouTube. So to be able to have that wire up to a third-party service so that I can get those types of notifications would be very interesting. DevOps is a lifesaver coming from Team City and Octopus. You hated those. Oh, I'm sorry. I was a big fan of Team City. Always used that in my previous life as a developer. So it's doing the publish right now. If I take a look at the logs. So it downloaded the artifacts, waiting for console output from an agent. Was it waiting? There should be no waiting. Mr. Regs! Thank you for that kind resub. 5 months in a row. Fantastic. And we're going to match and make a donation to Black Girls Code this quarter. Thank you so much. And I want to just say something real quick while we're waiting for this publish. There was a comment the other day. Somebody was not thrilled that I was donating this quarter to Black Girls Code. They thought it was a little racist, and they thought I was being racist by sending that out there. We donated for an entire year to Girl Develop It. We're donating this time to Black Girls Code, and we're going to donate to another organization starting in April. I want to make sure that folks have an opportunity to learn. That's why I stream. I could be writing this code by myself. I could be building samples and working with things and not worrying. But I want to share and make it easier for folks to learn. That's what I feel like my mission in my career right now is. I want to help folks learn, have an opportunity to try new things, to build fun things that they enjoy and grow. So if I can help other folks by not taking subscriptions and cheers and helping them and even matching in some cases, I'm going to do it. And I want to be I want to be charitable. I want to help other folks. So I hope that rings true with all of you. And if you caught some other folks' streams over the weekend, there was a little bit of emotion around that incident that happened last week. So it is a fantastic organization. Hey, DD Walsh, I think Black Girls Code is great. Love that I'm supporting. Well, thank you. Do I work with C# on a day-to-day basis at work? I do, Draco. Not only do I work with C#, I work with the folks who make C#. Yeah. And actually, if you're really interested in learning a little bit from them, I've had Mads Torgerson, the current language designer. He's the lead language designer for C#. He's been on stream with us a few times. Why am I getting a 409? Look at this. There's a conflict with the ID and version of your package and another package. Really? Let me finish that thought. If you go back in the YouTube playlist, you can find where we had Mads on twice. And he talked about modern C# features and how we can implement them in some of our projects, and showed us with real code that we built here on stream how we could update and use some of those new features. Really interesting how we were able to reach out. And Mads is a very nice guy and help us with some real world code that we built here on stream. I do work at Microsoft, Draco. Yes, I don't want to wave that flag that, hey, I'm a Microsoft guy. No, I'm just a guy who's trying to share and teach some folks some stuff. And the fact that I am doing Microsoft technologies right now is one thing. I want to get into Python later. I want to do more JavaScript. I want to do TypeScript a little bit. Everything's open source. Nothing that you see or that we're working on here is going to require you to pay any money to learn. That is my commitment to you. If you want to take an extra step and you want a premier experience, there's events and things where you can come out and you can see me at that are for pay. There's some free events that I'll be at as well. But I want to make sure that it's accessible for anybody to learn. Did Twitch get rid of the random sub giveaway option? No, it's there. It's there. It's still there. Did I update the version number? The version number should be... let's see what we got here. It should be there. It should automatically calculate and pass it along. Add non-interactive. Set API key non-interactive. Push. Home. Right? Come on now. There it is. Stream Deck 02278 Nupkeg. Right there. So that should be... We should be able to find that. Right? Make sure that we don't have a collision there. Well, here might be a first problem. Rambling Geek, thanks so much for that kind cheer. I'm going to open up Notepad here and make a note of that. Thank you so much for that kind cheer. And we will, of course, match and make a donation to Black Girls Code. Joe Philly. I gotta come back to Joe Philly here. Joe Philly sounds like he's in my neck of the woods. Is it still kind of painful to write C# in Visual Studio Code, or has the process been improved? Define painful. Some folks really like a very simple text editor that they can work with. I think here's what our problem is. NuGet.org is taking a long time to respond. Know what I mean, Vern? So let's search for Stream Deck lib. Let's see here. Mads Torgerson also seems to do a .NET community stand-up on the Visual Studio Twitch. So Stelzy, that's actually a good point. What you're going to see is that we're helping some of the other .NET teams have a stand-up, give that rich interaction with you based on what they've learned from seeing this stream, seeing the ASP.NET community stand-up, so that as they're building new features, and their open source features, their open source tools, share with you, here's what's coming, and you'll be able to learn and grow from that. Now look, that did publish. Look at that. That published. So I think that looks like it published. I'm wondering if we just ran into an issue where NuGet wasn't behaving properly. Let's see. How long have I been streaming for? Boss on Camera, I've been streaming now for 14 months. I started in November 2017. So we've been actively growing and building our community here, and we're going to have all kinds of great features and things that are more than just me sitting here coding. Oh, thank you for the... Yes, we did build a nice-sized fan base in just a year. Yeah. Kasukin, hello, and Code Therapist is here. VS Code for .NET C# works great for me. Yeah, Joe, let me know what's painful. Extensions are kind of the key to unlocking Visual Studio Code's full potential. I think this is what happened here. I think that NuGet was behaving a little bit slowly, and that's what kind of happened. So the other one, it was trying to push, right? Push package. Here it is. There's a conflict with the ID and version. But Stream Deck plugin template. Let's see if that one made it. Let me go back over here and search. Because these two kind of go hand in hand. Stream Deck plugin template. Here we go. Searching for the stuff. Hype. Thank you for the hype. I appreciate it. Oh my gosh. Kevin Griffin gifted one randomly. An acrophobic pixie gets that. Thank you so much for gifting that. We really appreciated that. Kasukin, we have to invite Jeff to Switzerland for an event. I was invited to Switzerland for Dev Days in May. The problem I have with, and I'm not going to be able to make it this year, is it's literally the same day as my wedding anniversary. So that wouldn't go over too well with Mrs. C# Fritz. May is a tough month for me. Almost 1 a.m. Oh my gosh. Yeah, take care, Boss on Camera. Of course, video will be available later today on my YouTube channel. How did I cam to this idea? Which idea? How did I get to this idea? Let me know, Code Therapist, what about your question there? There you go. I think this is just, it was running slow because look at that. It did put my 0.2278 version up there. So I think there was a retry that happened. Yeah, request will be retried, and then the retry failed. So it says failed, but I think we're okay. Streaming. Oh, how did I get into streaming? I tell this story a little bit. I was at Dev Intersection in 2017 in Las Vegas. I had just given a couple presentations, and I was looking at my schedule for the next 6 months, and I wasn't going to be speaking at any conferences. I was actually declined from a number of conferences because I couldn't make it. They were scheduled at a time that wouldn't work out for me, and I said, well, I want to continue to sharpen my axe, to work on my presentation skills and build some demos. So I started talking to some folks, and I actually talked to Suze Hinton, No Opcat. And she showed me how she was doing streaming to write code, and I thought that was terrific. And she does her thing in JavaScript with IoT, and I decided to take the plunge with .NET, because that's where my skills are primarily, and give it a try, and I fell in love with the platform. And I stuck to it, and I wanted to make it an important part of my week. So I started doing it 3 times a week, and had a lot of fun with it, and added a 4th day. So today's Mike Jolly's 19th anniversary. Well, congratulations, Mike. That's 19 is a pretty good. That's a pretty good duration there. Yeah, this year will be 19 for myself and Mrs. C# Fritz as well. Next autumn. Yeah, maybe. Let's see here. Sue's really made the dev stream community explode. Yes. I'm actively encouraging and trying to help folks grow their community. Grow this community. I've got a email here I got to reply to real quick. Let me take care of this. There we go. Got to take care of responding to folks who need my attention immediately. All right. That's done. 3 days ago was misleading. 3 days ago? Not sure. Okay. So, these up here. All right. Let me refresh now. Let me force the scoreboard to refresh because it doesn't refresh right away. Or it does and it misses the update. Fantastically. I have a couple blog posts about getting started streaming, and if you go to live.jeffreyfritz.com, there's links to them along with details about this stream and my playlist. So there are 2 blog posts that I have linked right here. My latest one went up 2 weeks ago, I think it was. And it talks all about all the equipment that I use and shows a little bit about my configuration using OBS, my keyboard, the Stream Deck, the software, the plugins that I use, and how it all fits together. So check that out, livejeffreyfritz.com, and this is my 2019 edition blog post. All right. So that's all put together. I have that one pull request still hanging out there. Let me go back over to my code, and then I'll merge in the changes that were just added up here. Streamed a bit in the past, so should be good on some bits. Oh, terrific. Terrific. Let me go back over to my project. So what I was trying to accomplish was I wanted to simplify over in the sample plugin all the things that you need to get started. And I think Carrie's actually done a pretty good job with some of this, because in the sample plugin, which is really going to be the canonical example that we derive our template from, and Stream Deck lib, I'm not sure this should, I'm sorry. So this is the sample plugin, and it's got all the sample images that go along with this. When we look in the program file now, look at all this code to get this running. With all the try, catch, and management here, there's a lot of this boilerplate code that I don't know if we really want folks to have to manage and have to get in here and work with. It feels like it's good. It's a lot to do, you know? Right, do we really want to separate this out? I don't know. You know what? I'm actually going to bail on this. Right? Looking at what I'm trying to do here, right? So, those are updates to the template. And then here's program. Yeah, I'm going to bail on this. I'm a little bit too far out. I think I'm going to bail on it. And then what are the 2 files that were added? App settings and connection manager bootstrap. Yeah, I'm a fan of only having to use 1 or 2 lines of code to use a lib. I agree. But setting up the logger factory here, I almost want to push this out into another project as an extension. And by default, have it do like console logging or something. See, so I'm kind of... Yeah, for what I'm trying to accomplish right now, I'm going to bail on this. You know what, Code Therapist? I might call it streamdecklib.extensions.logging. Yeah, maybe just streamdecklib.logging. Yeah. Yeah, I think that would be fine. I want to continue cleaning up here. How do I get rid of those two? I did a reset hard. But how do I force it to delete those two files? Without actually saying delete this file. Why am I blanking on this? I'm git clean df. Fantastic. Oh my gosh. Auth0 Bobby. Thank you for that tip. I learned something new right there. And you know what? I'm going to copy this. Put it over here in a notepad so that when I'm ready, I've got it there. App settings JSON should be there. Actually, I think it's there in the upstream. So let me pull in the changes from the upstream folder. That's not how you spell upstream. You asked to pull from upstream, but did not specify because this is not the default configured remote. You must specify a branch. Blah, blah, blah. I do this too often. So this did put, I thought it put app settings JSON into the template. I don't see it. Let me push it up into my copy of dev. And let me check out my master. Master of puppets. Git merge dev. Git push. And now I'm in sync. You'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, no problem. Behold the command line wizardry. Let me see here. What can I do? Can I do it? Do I have a sound effect I can... Or some music or something that I can... No, I got it. Here we go. Behold the command line wizardry. It's amazing. Try it sometime. You might like it. What do you think? Git clean df, clean directories, and force. I mean it. Thank you, Lee. By default, it logs to the console, then allows extra Serolog syncs. That's not bad. Here's what I'm going to do, so that we can continue and put that logging out somewhere. I'm going to create an issue, and let's create streamdecklib.logging project. This project should add an extension method to configure Serolog logging for the Stream Deck lib. I like it. And I'm not going to put it in a project, but I'm going to mark this as an enhancement. Help wanted. Yeah. And save that. So if somebody wants to work on that, you're more than welcome to jump in. I also want to create an issue here. Simplify boilerplate code to start the Stream Deck lib. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Yeah. This is an enhancement, help wanted. So if somebody wants to take a shot at that as well. That should be in my sound effect library. You think? Was that good? Could somebody clip that? Would that behold the command line wizardry? I think that'd be fun to share out on Twitter. Another one I use often is git clean dfx, which will nuke everything not in the git repo like bin folders and node modules. Ooh, that's a good one. That is a good one. dfx Move bin and node modules. Anything not in... Nice. Okay. I'm learning something here. Thank you, Off Zero Bobby. Source tree user, I haven't spent too much time with Git command line commands. Join us, Carrie. Join us. Hang on. Join us. Join us. Come to the command line side. We have cookies. Okay. Cool beans. I might get to it, as that's something I've recently done. Done something similar using a .NET Core middleware to add logging. That the kind of thing? Yes, that's exactly the kind of thing, but this isn't middleware. It's more of a configuration that you might want to add in to your plugin. And that's got me thinking there's other types of extensions and features you may want to be able to add into your plugin that we could build similar middleware-like extensibility. Ooh, I like that. Need to spend some time with it. Yeah. There's only a handful of commands you need to know to get started. I feel like with Git on the command line, if I can learn a new command line command once every week or two, it's helping me grow and become better with it. Yes, you only need a handful of commands to be dangerous.
Wait, Master.
What?
It might be dangerous.
No. It's not that dangerous. I promise. Everything in Git can be redone, restarted, rebuilt, recovered. That's the recovered. Yes.
I drink and I know things.
I do. Unborked. That's the one. Small commits, my friend. Small commits. We can rebuild him. That's a good one. Okay. So what I would like to do, I think there were a couple of features that we needed to get into here. We did add editor config. This is out there now. So yes, let's close this. Closed issue. Love it. Okay, documentation. We need documentation. Set settings does not appear. This is going to be an issue. We need unit tests. Yes, reload everything. Reload. All right. So now, without doing anything, let me start the Stream Deck app. There it is. And there's Igor. Shame. No shame. So this is my sample plugin right now it's not working. That's a problem. That right now it's just not working. If I go over to that folder, which is on a Windows machine, it's under App Data, Elgato, Stream Deck, Plugins. Now I've got all the various plugins that I've got installed here. So there's my sample plugin right there. I'm going to delete that folder. It's not going to let me delete the folder, is it? No. And there's my log. So I have a log for this. I don't think I have it logging to log, though. I think I have it logging to... Where's program? Oh no, it is going to the current directory, add JSON file, build. Right, app settings, JSON is right here. Yeah, it's going to log sample plugin. So that should work. I'm going to tell this to start the sample plugin. Set as startup project. Let's make sure this works. Thank you, Developer Garage. That's awesome. It's restarting my Stream Deck. Ooh. So the debugger tried to attach and didn't. And the Stream Deck isn't running. I think one of the biggest barriers for people coming from something like TFS to Git. Yeah, the command line. They're used to large commits. Yes. Commits in Git are so cheap by comparison. Here we go. So now it's trying to connect. Debugger launch. So now I'm connected, and I should be able to go into the app. There it is. And it does work. Okay. Now, what was interesting was that it didn't restart properly. I'm going to go restart our music. That's what I'm going to do. Let me come over here. Where is it? And I was playing Indigo. There we go. Much better. That is a little loud, though. Don't you think, fella? There we go. All right. So now if I try running this, let's make sure this works. Terrible link, the SSL store. Ooh, yeah. What's going on there? There are a bunch of U.S. government website SSL certificates expiring and thus websites going down. Yes. Yes, unfortunately. Okay. Let me get back to that. So I hit start here and it... Did it restart the app? Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Well, it went to Bing. Okay, it went to Bing. Right. But if I run this, it's not attaching. It's not killing the Stream Deck. Right. Register plugin and start Stream Deck. So this should close it. So why isn't it? Right, this was in the pre-build process. Right, so the register finds Stream Deck EXE, finds this. All right, gets all the information here. Get process, Stream Deck, stop process, force, silently continue. So this should kill it. But it's not. It's moved on line 14. Yeah, so this is what should be killing the process and then restarting it. But that's not working. Look at the startup settings. Stand by for action. Let me see. Project. Sample plugin properties. Debug. Yeah, that's we want to get rid of that. Where's the rainbow beard? Thursday. Right, I don't want this here for my debug start. Right, the build events, post build, here's where it registers it and starts. I shouldn't. So there was a little bit of interaction around it. I don't think we actually want to start anything here. I'm not sure if it changed. I think I need to yank this. Yeah, the PS1... Well, no, the PS1 isn't killing it either. It didn't kill it. Right? It's still there. I'll leave that running. Right? There it is. It's not killing it. So program files Elgato, Stream Deck, Stream Deck EXE. Right? That should have killed this. Do we have anything in the error list or in the output? Build. Da-da-da-da. Looking. I'm looking for it to actually be executing. It doesn't look like it's actually executing the script. Check the task manager. Oh yeah, the process is gone. Now it didn't restart it. Set get child item. Right, it's not restarting it. So I do need to put that restart back in. But it's not getting command line args. No, nothing restarted it, right? I took it out of the run here now, right? If I put this back. Right, that. And this should be, right? This should just be the command line. Right? CMD EXE. There it goes. Now it's starting. There it is. And now that's attaching. And I'm attached. And I'm launching. I'm launching. And there's the button working. Cool. So if I close that, it is still running. It's over here. Stop. And I try and run this again. So it didn't close this. What would be the next goal after Rainbow Beard? I need to figure that out. Yeah, it's not. It didn't kill it. Yeah, it's not showing me in the build window. Okay. There's definitely, yeah, no, I don't think the PS1 did get launched. You know what? It probably, right? It's a post-build thing. I wonder if it didn't actually run it. Right. There it executed. There it executed. Yeah. So it's right because it's a pre-built thing. Visual Studio is not running it. Not package. Right? It should always run the post-build. Main window close. I'm not sure what you're referencing there, Carrie. But it is working, though, as I'm changing things. If I don't change anything, though, it just kind of chills here. Oh, Acrophobic Pixie. That was one Kev Griff who gifted that just a little bit ago. Congratulations. Yes, and now you get the .NET bots. Make sure you use that .NET bot over on Quiltony's stream. If you didn't see the stream yesterday, try and open the two videos side by side on Twitch. My video starts about 6 minutes after hers starts. And it is amazing to see the two side by side. A lot of fun. I watched that last night. Close the main window of the process. Okay. So this is working for me for right now. I'm okay at this point. I want to go back over to the connection manager, and I think there were some things in here that we hadn't yet built. Right? We've got some events that aren't done being built here. We only have these 5 at this point. And there are more events to be built here. Wait a sec. I'm going to close this. New project. I just noticed this. I was looking to see if the events were detailed here. But I'm going to close this with a reference to the new project over here, the Stream Deck Emulator. Cool. Why didn't it link that? How do you link that? Right? What is that? Reference an issue or pull request? No. Directly mention a user or team? No. No. Right? Isn't there a way with... Right? GitHub Markdown reference project. Right? Isn't there a way to reference a project? When to refill your teacup, come back to an alert. Oh, congratulations. Yeah, if the PS1 isn't working, it's not going to catch it. I want to reference a project. Nope. Nope. I'm going to have to just make it a link. Bummer. I'll leave it the way it is. That's fine. Yeah, that would be to make it a link. I'll make it a link. Fine. Fine. Right? So, no. That. And then parentheses around this. Right? That's not right. Actually, if I put the... Oh, I always get these backwards. Does this go second? Yeah. Nope. Wrong URL. Oops. Oh, it's because I pulled that off. There we go. Fantastic. Update. Looks like I can only do commits, issues, and pull requests, not entire repos. Yeah, I just want to say, oh, look over here in this project. So, all right, so that one's closed. Logging project. No, I didn't list the other events. So let's go out to the Elgato. I think it's developerelgato.com. And there are events received. So these are the events that we receive from the application, right? The application raises these events as they happen. So we need to finish implementing this. Hey, Soner Ganol. Hello, hello. It would be nice for GitHub to add that as a little feature. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's take a peek here. Can I put these side by side? So key down, key up, will appear, will disappear. Title parameters did change. So we need device did connect, it did disconnect, application did launch, application did terminate. This project will be very active in 2019, as it seems now. Many are interested in. Yeah, I think so. I'm very happy to see that, and I'm happy to encourage it too. I think we have some other projects that we want to get back to. That'll be a lot of fun. But I want to encourage the interest in this and get folks moving on it. And our friends at Elgato are very interested in helping out with this as well, and supporting and promoting it. So I definitely want to put us in a good position where folks can jump off and have a good time building things here. That's not it. Let me put quotes on this. What was the next one? Device did connect. Device did connect. And then this should be plugin. On device did connect, and then pass in the arguments. So what I'm doing here, this is called, oh, well, that's kind of why. I'm going to put the semicolon down here on its own line. Right? With that. Right? Do I have that right? No. That goes away. Too many commas. Don't you have an in with the head of GitHub? Asks Developer's Garage. I do not know, Nat. No, I do not have it. What does it mean when you put a string into the brackets? And I have 2 commas. Yeah, you're right, Physotronic. Good catch. Good catch. Points to you. Function maps for the win. Yes. So this is a function map. What this is a dictionary. I sometimes refer to this as an action dictionary. So this is a dictionary that we can look up and say, well, for this string, this is actually what we want to call, right? These are called delegates. This is a pointer to a function. So we're going to say if this thing happens for our plugin and our arguments, those are the 2 pieces that we're going to have reference to here. We're going to grab our plugin and call a method that has that name on it, in this case on key down, and pass in the arguments to it. So I have a red squiggle here because the plugin doesn't have an on-device did connect method yet. This is actually used inside the connection manager here. If I do a Shift F12 on this, it'll show me where it's referenced. That's a Visual Studio feature, and it's behind my noggin there. Let me move this into the center so it's a little easier to see. There you go. So Visual Studio is showing me here's the 2 places where it's used. So what happens, and this is kind of cool. Physotronic, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you joining us, and I'm happy to answer your questions here. While this is running, right, it connects to a WebSocket and it listens. When it receives a message off of it, it deserializes that message, and that message comes across the WebSocket in JSON format. So we're going to look at what's the contents of that message, and we're going to turn it back into something that I call a Stream Deck event payload. We're then going to look at it, right? Make sure we can deserialize it. It isn't, something messed up. There isn't anything corrupted in there. And then we're going to go find the event that JSON block tells us it is. It's a key button pressed. Key has been pressed down. So we find that, and then we're going to invoke the method that it tells us to invoke. So we have that key down event. We reach over into this collection and say, oh, it's the key down event. Well, the way you invoke that, the way we handle that is we go to our plugin and we call the onKeyDown method. Easy. So this here says invoke onKeyDown for our plugin that's configured and pass in the message, this event payload, into that onKeyDown method. So string func, you got it, Lee. You got it. It's basically a hash map of delegates. Yes. Strongly typed because of .NET. You got it. Is the payload turned into a C# object? Right there. So that makes it real easy for us to work on. Syntax is, it's called a literal. Yep. Very cool. Thank you, Auth0 Bobby, for helping explain. Hey, Moz, look at that C# super logo there. Very cool. Thank you. All right. So I'm going to add these new events that we haven't tracked yet over here. Now I also want to make sure I drop in Rambly Geek's kind cheer from earlier. So device did connect, application did launch, and application did terminate. Device did disconnect. All right. So I'm going to cheat and copy paste for the win. Right, so device did disconnect and application did launch, application did terminate. I'm going to copy this. Good developers copy and paste. There we go. So now I've also gotten rid of some of these device. This should be device did disconnect. There we go. On device on application did launch, and on application did terminate. Cool. Copy pasta, absolutely. Inside the dictionary initialization. Yep. Lambda is very cool. That's what the fat arrow is here, right? You see fat arrow notation in JavaScript now. We've had it in C# since 2008. But we call these lambdas. So, and you'll hear us you'll hear .NET folks refer to the arrow operator here when they're reading code. They'll refer to this as such that. So title parameters did change. I'm taking in a plugin and an arguments such that plugin on title parameters did change. You may also hear my colleague Scott Hanselman. You know Scott Hanselman. Scott! He'll refer to this as the Anders operator in deference to the original language designer of C#, Anders Heilsberg. I don't know how much bugs I did by copy-paste. Yeah. Right, but by copy-pasting, particularly strings, I think that helps save us. And I don't like the idea of magic strings, right? A magic string is a string that you have to copy and match throughout your code. This is a string that's being specified by the Stream Deck application. And instead of having to do tests somewhere for it, I'm copying and pasting directly from the documentation into our code so that hopefully it matches and it doesn't change or go away. Physitronic has a general question. Understand general logic of programming, but I think I lack in vocabulary. I feel the same way at times, Physitronic, but let me continue reading. I noticed that when I talk to more experienced developers, when they start using more precise names for things, do you have a recommendation that is a good way to increase your vocabulary? Talk to more folks. Talk to more developers. Socialize, interact with them. And a good developer that is going to offer mentoring solutions is not going to correct you and say, oh, you mean so-and-so. They'll say something like, we actually call it this, right? You hear .NET developers refer to this as so-and-so. Yes, it is fat arrow notation in JavaScript, but they're going to be polite in their correcting. Ultramark, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you joining us and look forward to seeing you in the chat room. Talk more for sure. Absolutely. Come here and ask about things. Hey, Jeff, I'm using this thing. It looks like a pointer to a function that we're assigning. What is that called? Well, it's a delegate. It's and we'll absolutely talk through those things. Reading books is a very good strategy as well. But watching streams will definitely help with that. And I'm going to be the first to admit, I don't know everything either. I don't. But we're going to learn it together. Can't navigate to the symbol under the caret because it's not there. So I need to build it. So I'm going to use a control dot here, generate that method. And I'm going to control dot through these. So it's not copy pasta, but it's control dot for the win. All right, you can see my control dot over here. Yep, generate those methods. And if I F12 through, well, now I've got my not implemented exceptions over here. I don't want that. I want them more in this signature up here. So let's label these public virtual. And I'm just going to copy paste that down here. Those are keywords, so we're going to get some help from the compiler verifying that they work. And these should all end with a fat arrow notation here, because these are all just marker methods that we want folks to be able to implement inside of our code. Now look at what that is. Awful. Ooh, wrong way. Wait. Right, I want to do document formatting. Why am I forgetting the key for format document? There we go. Much better. And I like spaces. At least one line between these things. Give the code room to breathe so I can read it. That was your formatting. I know. Why did it look so weird? Alt F8. You know, Alt F4 works pretty good here too. See what I did there? Hey, Fuel Snable. Could this pattern be captured in a common method? I don't think so. Mine looks weird. Yours looks funny. I'm looking for an insult on the soundboard here. I'm looking for an insult.
Throw me a frickin' bone here.
Okay. Drops for chat for falling for the Alt F4 trick. All right. So now we have these methods implemented, and they actually have a slightly different payload that they're going to send that will receive from the Stream Deck application. Is that Antidote? Is that elite code for Antidote there? That is phenomenal. And I didn't set my music to replay. Let's get that replaying. We're only going to have about one more playthrough here because I'm going to stop at about noon today. Yeah, that's good. All right. So we have those methods. Let me come back over to Firefox and let's look at these 4 events that we're going to start tracking here and make sure that we can capture those appropriately. Yes, that's elite for Antidote. Fantastic. Welcome, Antidote. I appreciate you joining us with the follow. All right, so let me look at the first one here. Device did disconnect. So we receive an event, device info, blah, 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 blah. Now, this is typically going to happen when a device is unplugged. We need to be able to handle that. So let me see. We may want to handle that. Our plugin developers may want to handle that. Let me look at the messages. So the Stream Deck event payload looks like this. So it's going to receive an event, a device, and device info. So device info, let's see here. The head first books, indexers are generalized syntax, so it's common to arrays, dictionaries, etc. Yes. You could do it with key value syntax, certainly, in that action dictionary we were building. But for this, oh my gosh, the real KCW. Welcome, real KCW. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate it and look forward to seeing you in the chat room. I don't know why that was held up there, Fuel Snable, but I will release. This device info block. I should be able to make this a class here inside of our event payload. I'm going to just put some carriage returns. Check this out. This is a feature Visual Studio and Visual Studio Code have. I'm going to go advanced. No, where is it? Paste special. Check this out. Paste JSON as classes. And it didn't work. What? That is too valid JSON. Oh, it needs a extra curly brace around it. All right. I just went over into Notepad and filled that in. All right. Edit, paste special, paste JSON. Boom. Device info, size, and that root object. My root object is actually going to be up top. I think we may have an info class already. A device info class? I don't think so. Do we have a device info? Let's see. Find them all. Nope, just here. There is an info class because there's info being passed by the app, not the device information. If you want less magic strings, have thought about using enum to string converter for the event. That's not bad either. This I'm going to cut because in the syntax that we're provided here, next to the device, we may receive device info. So I'm going to put that in there. And then that'll attach up, and if we have device information, it'll give it to us. Fantastic. Class device, class size, isn't it the same? Let's take a look-see. Device info, size. Nah. Size and coordinates are the same. I'll give you that. I'll get rid of size and go with coordinates. Right? So instead of... Where's device? Make this coordinates. I'm good with that. Stream Deck Info CS. Stream Deck Info CS. There's a size over there as well. Why isn't it formatting? Okay. It is the same. So if I got rid of this, and made this coordinates, let's move coordinates up. Right? Let's promote this. Ta-da! Cool. And we'll move this to its own file. And everything should build. Russie Man 2. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate you joining us. I wouldn't merge classes that look similar but are semantically different. But these are semantically similar. Are we looking at structs here? Do we want this on the stack or the heap? Yeah. I'm not sure if JSON.NET will turn these into structs. For right now, it's working. I'm not hitting a performance issue. We can look at tuning it later. Let me get it working, then we'll improve it later. And I want to make sure I put in, I'm going to grab Rambling Geeks Cheer and make sure that we record. I was originally working over in the events, so I will cheer Rambling Geek. It was 100, and today is January 21, 2019. Thank you so much for that cheer. Realize the beard is still monochromatic. Where will we see the rainbow beard first? Thursday. Thursday we're going to be... So I'm not streaming tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm actually in flight, heading out to Seattle. Thursday I'm live from Channel 9, and we're talking about Visual Studio with Allison Buchholz. And it is going to be amazing. Size has plural columns and rows. Uh-oh. Hang on. Did I mess something up? I probably did. So coordinates size, right? That had a size object, columns, rows. Coordinates, oh, it just has column, row.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
Okay, fine. You caught me. In a good way. Columns, rows. So this can stay size. I can get rid of this one. Right, and that kind of works. Now if I go back over to event payload, for device info, it's not going to be coordinates, is it? It's columns rows, which is a size. Do I have that right? Tried to stream me coding C# the other day. It's hard. Kudos to all the also streamers. Twitch Loft, let me know if you need some help getting started there. Am I dyeing the beard live? No. No. We're going to do that ahead of time. But yeah, give Twitch Loft a follow. Absolutely. I'm hoping if things pan out here with Twitch, I have an application in for Twitch Partner. We should hear results on that this week, hopefully. If everything goes well, and they well,
Right.
no, not that Dr. Evil.
Throw me a frickin' bone here.
If they do, throw me a freaking bone, and I get made partner, I am going to create a stream team of live coding streamers. I want to build this community. I want to grow this developer community of streamers. I know there are other folks out there that can stream more than I can, or that can cover topics that I don't know. And that's fine. That's terrific. I want to grow this community. I want to make it easy for anybody to learn about coding here. It is an underdeveloped skill set in our world, and I want to make it drop dead simple for folks to be able to do that. So if, and Twitch folks, if you're out there watching, this is my plea to you. If you do decide to bestow partner status on me, I will be creating that stream team for live coding developers. And I want to encourage folks like Twitchloth and Gareth, and Rambling Geek is streaming now, and some of our other streaming friends out there to join us, and let's build this out. Let's have some great content. Not if, when. It's not my choice. And they may decide never to, but if they do decide to bestow that recognition on me, that title, that reach, that's what I'm going to do. To get a good rainbow, you want to bleach the beard first. So here's the thing. I've already got a little bit of gray hanging out in here. I might do the brighter colors over here where the gray is, and the darker colors over here. If you don't get partnered, Twitch will get a visit from sharks with freaking laser beams on their heads. I kind of agree. That's our friend Gary Park there at GEP13. Gary, I'm going to open up and let anybody join up here. There's a lot that I want to do, and I'm trying to clear the road here so that we can do some really cool things. All right, I think I fixed that so that I am receiving those parameters correct for device did connect. Let me make sure. Let's check device did. Disconnect is just event and device, event, device. So I think we're good there. Application did launch, and then application did terminate. Oh boy, this is different. Payload is just application and then that. Oh boy. You want sharks with freaking laser beams. Pew, pew. Yeah. Woot. Yeah, absolutely. So, com Apple Mail under application inside the payload object. Okay, so it looks like I can just add a string called application under payload. So let's do that. I'm going to create a property using the property snippet here. And this is a string called application. That was easy. And then application did terminate, event, payload, application, and it's a string. That looks easy. So I think we've got connections now to be able to manage all of those different events. Cool, right? So what I should be able to do, let's go over to not even sample plugin, the base plugin. And I should be able to see some of these getting fired now. Yeah. All right, let's give this a shot. Hold on to your butts. I have a shirt with my test. My clouds have sharks with freaking laser beams. All right. There it goes. Here comes the Stream Deck. Good. And it's running. I'll let it attach. There we go. There it goes. So device did connect. It fired appropriately into this. Now let's look at the arguments. Let's make sure it received things. The event device did connect. Device info. And there's the device, right? So device info has a size object and a type of 0. Columns 5, rows 3. We got it. We got all of our information serialized. Yes! Yes!
Oh my.
No.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm happy. All right, so that worked. Let's go see what the next event is that we receive. Let's see if I go up here. No. Right, so device did disconnect. If I unplug it, I could try to trigger that. What were the application ones? When a monitored application... So these are applications that you say, we should monitor this. I don't have a sample for that. But I think we implemented everything properly. Hey, Admiral Snyder, good to see you. When at first you do succeed, try not to look astonished. No. First try, got it right. That's a cool logo. Cool thing. Mick G first. Super Mick Gamer. Nice. I agree, Lee. Ship it. Let's ship it. So we have those other events. Oh, I'm working in... Oh, I didn't commit yet. Git, checkout, dev. What file do I... Oh, it's the coordinates file. Yeah, that's fine. Add all the things. Git commit. Implemented the rest of the events. The Stream Deck app can send our plugin. That feels good. Right? Sign it. Push it. There we go. Back over to the GitHub thing. Pull requests. Yes, I would like a pull request, please. Able to merge. Fantastic. I'm gonna copy that. Implement Stream Deck events sent. Received. Do that. There we go. Create the pull request. Do the thing. Make the stuff happen. So it can be merged, but why didn't I get the... Should I be getting the doodad, the CI running here? How'd you resolve the problem with not wanting to impose a logger tech to the template users? Right now we're including Serolog, but we're going to move that out into an extensions logging project. Yeah, why isn't this showing? Right? Shouldn't this be showing that that it's building? Right. Hey, Robert Tables. Work and internet issues. Yeah, I know that one. You think I wrote application with an uppercase A instead of a lowercase a, says Nicro. Nicro, where was that? Do you remember where that was? Dishco? Thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate you joining us. In the deserialization models. In those models, they do have to line up. That's not something I have control over. You're right. Is that going to line up? It's not. It's not. Good catch. And I'm going to amend that. And I'm going to push force on it. There we go. I think I'll work on the separation of concern and forcing Serolog for now. Yeah. And we can allow a user to inject whatever they want. There we go. So this, yeah, force pushed. But it's interesting to me. It's not showing me that it's checked this. Implement that. Go. Is the dev branch configured as a protected branch? I merged into master. Master is supposed to be the protected branch. Oh, brother. Yeah. Is using something like data member name application attribute an option that is worth considering for? Yes, and I actually do that. Rollback. I do that. I did that on an, yeah, here. Right, JSON property will do that same thing. Now I'm going to push into dev. It's the wrong way, but oh man. And I've even got my other crap. I was building a course for Wintellect and I've got the wrong person here. So if you git log this, oh man, this is a pain in the neck. It's on the wrong user. Because this user is going to go away. This is a temporary user. Oh man. Yeah, we're about to learn how to fix git mistakes, all right. Holy crow. Oh, fantastic. Okay. So here's the thing, right? I am right now logged in here as my git config. Right, git config is right now logged in as different user. I need to be logged in as my private email. Oh yeah, we're going to see some real CLI wizardry. You're giving me way too much credit here, Stelzy. I'm going to go grab my private email that it should be configured with. Git config global user.email. That's what it should be. And now it's C# frets again. Git commit amend author equals. Yes, that's what I'm going to be doing, Todd. Nah, I did push, but I'm going to whack it. And oh, I might be able to undo it in. All right, hang on. Let's do the git commit amend and right. So if I git log, this one I need to hammer here. So I'm going to copy that. Git commit amend and author is. I'm gonna. You know what? I'm gonna cheat here again. Just copy that. Paste. Do the thing. If I git log, now it's proper. Git push. Push force. No, you got really close in that copy pasta. Mr. Mike in H. Thanks so much for joining us, Mr. Mike. All right, so that looks good here. It's got the appropriate user there. And if I head back over to refresh that. Oh yeah, this is. I need to. Oh boy. I need to do a new pull request, and I need to come from. Oh, this is going to be. We got the 5K on Sunday. And, here we go. Robert Tables thinks I can undo that pull request. Reverting. Under your repository, click pull requests in the list. Click the pull request, and there should be a revert doodad there. Let's see. Closed. This one. I don't see. There it is. Revert. So you got a creator pull request to revert a pull request. Oh, man. Yep. Merge it. Do it. Come from. Is that an internal scream finally? What? Yep. Revert is a very messy thing. All right. So now if I come back into here. New pull request. Ugh. I should do this from my own repository. Where's mine? Not my teams. I want the C# Fritz. Stream Deck Toolkit. That one. There it is. All right. I want to go from my dev branch. New pull request. And I'm going to Fritz and Friends dev able to branch. Yes. Yeah, fine. I don't care about that now. So now there's one commit here, and it's got properly my name on it. Now it's running the check. There we go. Remember, using git push force on a shared repository is the quickest way to make your team very upset. Yes, that is terrible. Intercal, the mother of all esoteric languages. It has come from rather than go to. Okay. Right, I can click through on the details here and watch it. Watch it build. But I know it builds, so I'm merging anyway. Okay. No, don't delete the branch. So now, if I head back to, so I'm here, now create the pull request to merge into master. So I'm going to merge dev into master. There we go. Yep, looks pretty good to me. All right. Adding remaining Stream Deck received events. These are events we're receiving. There we go. Merge it. Do it. All right. So now on master, if we look at the commits there, right, these ones are going to be, yeah. So we'll have a new release go out. If you have automated deploy pipelines from master or downstream users, it can get traumatic. Yes. Lee, I'm the same way. I get Master of Puppets stuck in my head every time I talk about the master branch. It just happens. So we've completed, right, these are the events received from the Stream Deck into our plugin. We've now completed all of these events. I think that's a pretty good thing. I think that's a pretty good accomplishment for today. And we're at a nice place, I think, to stop for right now. So, oops, don't want to go over there yet. So, our toolkit is growing nicely here. I think we've still got some things we want to do here. If folks want to contribute, you want to get in, you want to start looking at something you can jump in with, take a look at documentation or even helping out with the README. I'd like to get a little bit of information there, maybe some links out. I've actually created at Frank's request on the YouTube channel, I've added a playlist dedicated to the Stream Deck. Ooh, look at that hair. Here we go. Stream Deck Toolkit. So whenever we're doing work on the toolkit, I'm going to put the video in this playlist. That way, if you want to catch up, you want to see the work that we've done on the Stream Deck, it's all right here. Going back to even when we introduced the concept of just building a plugin, listening for and working on it. Sucked it up and purchased a 15-button Stream Deck so you can contribute. Your wallet regrets it, but you know you're going to have a great time using it. It's going to simplify some of the things that you need to do, and you're going to have a great time using it. You were using the 6-button. Yes, I said you should get the 15 because you'll want it. Yes, definitely want to check that out. Let's do this. I think we should wrap up here today because I do have some other things that I need to get to. I need to get a haircut and get ready to go out to Seattle here. So let's kick off that Mario music. Let's see if we have some friends out there we might be able to raid today. Anybody in science and technology that we could raid? Advocate for a developer discount on Stream Deck. Working on it. I love code. Working on it. Let's see. Who's out there? Hey, that's me. You know who we haven't raided in a while that might be fun? But I want to see if there's somebody new that's doing something interesting we can raid. Jesse Skinner, Adam 13. Yeah. I'm looking. Wow, there's a lot of folks streaming today in science and technology. Let's see. Where do we want to go? Where do we want to go? Where do we want to go? I don't see Jesse. No, I don't see Jesse Skinner. I was thinking of Jessica Mack. Let's raid Jessica Mack. So Jessica Mack is building a game, writing some really cool visualizations. I just saw her. I think I just went by. It doesn't look like Gary's streaming right now. So I'm going to drop into Jessica's stream and let her know that the raid is coming. If you want to check out Jessica's stream where she's working on some C++ work today, building and working on an application, sit right there, stand by, and we'll head over in just a few seconds. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining us. This video will be available a little bit later today over there on GitHub. I hope you have a great time. Say hello to Jessica. Show her lots of love, lots of .NET bots, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Mike! Oh my gosh, I'm not going to cut the stream just yet. Even though folks have left on the raid, thank you so much for that very kind set of gift subs. Folks, if you're watching this on YouTube, let Mike know. Thank you very, very much for that very kind share of subscriptions. We'll talk about that next time on Thursday. We'll see you then.